You don't have to be crying in the break room to be burned out. Some signs are so subtle, but they're screaming for your attention. In this video, we're going to talk about the silent and less obvious signs of burnout, because nurses tend to push these particular ones down or they ignore them. And we're going to just explore how to align with your truth. And we're going to talk about the letter A in my heart framework. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot those subtle signs and to listen to those whispers of misalignment before they turn into burnout or blow up in the break room. So let's talk about it. What does burnout really look like? I know for me, it came very subtly. And so if you've heard in my videos, I talk a lot about misalignment versus burnout. It's because like recently here, before I retired, I initially thought I was burned out, but I really wasn't burned out. I was misaligned. And so burnout has specific signs. And here are some of the signs that I was able to look up. Now, these are the signs that are not apparent, like brain fog. Okay, let me tell you another one. Lack of creativity. You begin to start avoiding people after work. You have a short fuse with your loved ones. Now, this is really not fair because you're at work, you're frustrated, you're burnt out, and now you come home and then you release on your family, and your family are the ones that really love and care for you. So when you start snapping like that, when you're starting to act out on those that you love, that's where you really need to start paying attention. Even at times, you probably are very productive. You might even still be smiling, but the joy is really gone. It's almost like you're smiling, but you're frowning at the same time. You're tired. Even after getting a good night's rest, you dread your next shift. You do not want to go back. You're starting to become indifferent. And we know that we don't like to show up like that. So those are just a few subtle signs that you should watch out for. And if you are experiencing any of that, why don't you just keep on listening? Let me tell you why the A, authenticity, matters. Because when you can't be you, that puts pressure on you. Now you have to cover and you have to put a facade on to be somebody that you really aren't. Authenticity invites nurses to show up fully as human beings first, not just their job titles. When nurses and staff operate from a place of truth, vulnerability, and inner alignment, they build trust. They deepen connection with their patients as well as their peers. And I'm going to say with yourself, you're right with yourself. That's the authenticity that you want to have. Now, let me tell you a little bit about authenticity. See, I like to say that awareness expands authenticity. Are you aware of how you move, how you show up? Do you have awareness of some of the thoughts that you have coming into your thought life and your mind? Can you hear some of the thoughts that you're having? Well, by helping nurses understand their values, their beliefs, and their behaviors that shape their leadership and their care, that awareness will become a game changer. It's not enough to just be yourself. You have to know yourself. I'm going to say that again. It's not enough just to be yourself. You must know yourself. And how do you know yourself? You have to spend time with yourself. Oh, but I'm too busy. I have so much to do. I don't have enough hours in a day. I'm telling you, one of the most important things that I had to do to become who I have been destined to be, do, or become is to know thyself. You have to spend some time knowing you. It's so important. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But let me just go over a few little pain points. You see, nurses, we love operating on autopilot. We mask our fatigue, we suppress our emotions, And we unfortunately sometimes adapt to those toxic norms that we are a part of. So without self-awareness, authenticity suffers. You have to begin to start being conscious to how you behave, what you are thinking, what you are saying, how you are making other people feel. Your compassion becomes performative rather than lived when you have no self-awareness. Have you ever met people that do not have self-awareness? They are like actors and actresses, fake. I'm just being real, you guys. But we want you to be more on the authentic side, because when you're your authentic self, you show up and your presence precedes you. You know, I like to say that your brand speaks for you before you even say a word. And so that's what, showing up authentic looks like. So let's talk about this. What else does authenticity look like? It's when you model transparency and humility at the same time, not pride, but humility. It's nurses or staff who feel safe expressing their true thoughts and experiences. Can you really express your true thoughts and experiences? I have to be honest, I was not able to do that until I found my voice in 2020. When I found my voice, it was like a floodgate opened, and then I was able to be authentic and share my opinion, share my thoughts, and I did not become concerned about how it would make certain people uncomfortable. And so when you finally get to that place of authenticity, you get in that space of, I need to share my truth. Are you in a place where you can share who you are, or are you still covering? Because that's draining as well. So let's keep moving on. Also, a workplace where values and actions align. Do your values and your actions align? Are they congruent? I know that's where I started feeling a little bit of the misalignment, because there was so much in my heart that I wanted to do, but I couldn't do because I had to do the work. And and that's okay. For me, it was for me to early retire because there was something else that I was supposed to be doing. When you have to suppress your emotions, deny your truth, or pretend you're okay just to get through the day, oh my gosh, you are lost. You've lost your alignment. When you have to, here's the things: suppress your emotions, deny your truth, and pretend you're okay just to get through the day. Have you ever had to do that? I've had to do that before, I have to be honest. And it was such an exhausting day when you have to push through like this. I have something that I want you to do for you. I'm going to call it the alignment audit, because I had to do that and it helped me so much. I want you to ask yourself these things, and I want you to put this in your journal. Am I saying yes when I mean no? Oh my God. It was so liberating, you guys, when I finally learned how to say no. You see, I was always saying, yes, I'll do this. Okay, I'll step up and do this. I'll do this at the risk of my own well-being. It's because, we have this tendency to want to achieve and to prove ourselves and things like that. But when you really start learning who you are and your authenticity, that's where you become like, okay, I am valuable all by myself where I am. I do not need to do anything to prove my worth to anybody. So that's true deliverance. And then what about, am I pretending I'm okay just to avoid judgment? There are a lot of people, they have that mask on. They're pretending that they're okay because I'm supposed to be okay. I can't not be okay. And then what am I abandoning in myself to keep going? Is there anything that you're abandoning in yourself just to get through the day? Now let's talk about what to do when you notice the signs coming. Step 1, I want you to pause and reflect. That's like the most important thing. When I felt myself burning out or being misaligned, or that whisper in my heart, or that unrest, it was time for me to pause. That's when I told you guys I did my 30-day pause. And I took some time off so that I could pause, because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. It was so critical for me to acknowledge, okay, Charlene, when I was sitting on that healing circle, I am being true to everybody else except for me. So pause and reflect. And then step 2, why don't you just do a small daily repair? A 10-minute walk, journaling, a cry. Sometimes you just need a good cry. A boundary. Maybe you need to put up a boundary. All of these are medicine, not luxuries. You have to start taking care of yourself. I started doing the walks. I call them my God walks now. Every time I feel myself getting where I don't need to be, I walk, and then it just like literally the unclogging, the releasing begins to happen. And I am a person of practice. I am a woman of faith, so I'm a prayer warrior. And so I do love praying. And that is another solace and a safe place for me as well. And then the third step is to speak your truth to one person. Find somebody you trust, somebody that's really close to you. And I want you to do that because of this. You see, burnout cannot survive in an honest conversation. When you share, you invite connection, and that connection is your lifeline. And so don't let burnout hide, because it will try to hide and it will try to isolate you. So when you talk to a trusted friend, someone that's not going to put you down, but someone that loves you enough to sit with you in this challenging season that you're in. I hope that helps you. It's so important for you to be authentic. Until I became my authentic self, I covered for so many years, but I am so thankful that I was able to actually find me in the midst of all the chaos, because I was much more effective when I was able to use my voice and to say what needs to be said. So thank you for watching. If this resonated with you at all, why don't you hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series that I'm doing? I want you to comment below what other hidden signs of burnout that you've noticed in yourself or in someone else. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear, because there's way more than what I said, but I'd love to hear some of yours, some of the hidden things that we don't necessarily talk about, so we can help one another out. Thank you for watching. In the next video, we'll explore boundaries that heal, how to say no without guilt in healthcare. Very challenging, but we have to learn how to do that. Until then, why don't you give yourself permission to pause and remember, authenticity is your superpower, because when you show up amazing. I mean, ready to be your true authentic self. And that's when you really impact. So what did we learn just now? You learned about validation, that subtle burnout is real. Yes. New awareness of suppressed symptoms. I gave you a little alignment tool, some actionable strategies for realignment, and a growing community of support. So join my community if you want to be more connected, more plugged in. I look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you on the next session.